Hi everyone, it's Miss H. I hope you had fun on our field trip last week when we talked about fairy tales around the world. I was having so much fun with the different fairy tales that I decided to do it again this week. But we're going to talk about something a little bit different today. We are going to talk about something called fractured fairy tales. Do you know what it means if something is fractured? Sometimes people use that word when they mean something is shattered or broken, like this. But when we talk about fractured fairy tales, I'm not talking about breaking a book. I'm talking about changing the story a little bit. Fractured can also mean changed. So, what is a fractured fairy tale? A fractured fairy tale is when an author takes a fairy tale that everybody knows, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears or Beauty and the Beast, and they change something about it. Now, there's a couple different things that they can change. They can change something really important about the main character, like this. They can change who the main character of the story is, like this. They can even change where and when the story takes place, like this. So why do authors make fractured fairy tales? There's a lot of different reasons. Sometimes making a fractured fairy tale makes it funnier than the original fairy tale if there's something really silly that the author changes. Sometimes the author wants to make the fairy tale newer or more modern, and maybe more kids will like it. And sometimes the author is trying to make the reader think about the other characters in the story and maybe why they act the way that they do. So I want you to think about one of your favorite fairy tales that you know. Think about it in your head. Think about what part of it you would change to make a fractured fairy tale. Would you change the main character? Would you change what the main character does? Would you change where the story takes place? Would you change all of those things? That could be a fractured fairy tale. So there's lots of different ways to make a fractured fairy tale. Now on the next page, I'm going to read one of my very favorite fractured fairy tales to you. We're going to talk about what's different and what's the same, and then you are going to make your own fractured fairy tale.